Hey guys, this is Anon with a preview of the VK45.03 German Premium Tier 7 Heavy Tank. This is one I've personally been pretty excited about because we just don't get a lot of opportunities for premium heavy tanks. Lights and tank destroyers seem to be a lot more common. If this tank looks familiar, it's because it's the cousin of the VK4502, the Tier 8 German heavy tank. It's essentially the Tier 8 version with the stock turret, the middle gun, and slightly less hull armor. So at Tier 8 that wouldn't be very impressive, but at Tier 7 it creates a pretty interesting combo that's pretty formidable. The 4503 actually compares really similar to the Tiger 1 at Tier 7. The stats are extremely similar on it. The armor profile is almost identical with the VK, just losing 2 millimeters of side and rear armor on both the hull and the turret. The main difference with that is that the VK has a lot more armor sloping, while the Tiger 1 is very boxy. So it tends to bounce a little bit more just by keeping good angles, and it also is a lot better for side scraping because it's a thinner tank that doesn't have the hard angles that tends to attract shots like the Tiger does. Mobility is also extremely similar. It's got 38 kilometers speed limit, 28 traverse, 22 turret traverse. That's right in line with the Tiger 1's 40 speed limit, 27 traverse, and 20 turret traverse. The only difference, it tends to accelerate a little bit slower because it is also 7 tons heavier than the standard Tiger, so the power to weight ratio is a little bit less, but it still can move around the battlefield really nicely and quicker than most heavies can. One of the main things that stands out about the VK is it gets the L71 8.8 centimeter gun that is extremely popular on the German tanks. It's the same gun as the Tiger 1, it's the same gun as the upcoming Panther 8.8 that's actually a tier higher, so it gives a lot of really good attributes. It's a really nice gun for a heavy. The DPM is slightly less than the Tiger 1 as it loses about 6/10 of a cycle rate of fire, but that really just is about 1 shot less. It still brings best-in-class penetration values and dispersion for Tier 7 and even into Tier 8 for a heavy tank. And it actually has nicer aim time than the Tiger 1 at 2.7 seconds versus 2.9. So that's going to be a really nice gun for Tier 7, especially in a heavy. The last stat that really jumps out to me on the VK is it actually has best-in-class view range for a heavy at 250 meters. That's really fantastic. It's 10 more than the Tiger 1 and up to 20 more than a lot of other heavies at Tier 7, so you should be able to compete with the view range of some mediums and not really get caught out in space quite as much. Credit earning is right along with most of the other premiums we've been seeing lately. It's not spectacular, but it certainly isn't disappointing, especially considering the high penetration values. You shouldn't be having to shoot a lot of Pramo, so I don't think you'll be disappointed with it at all. For me, the VK isn't necessarily a frontline heavy because as a heavy, the armor values aren't necessarily spectacular, but with the angling it certainly will still bounce a fair amount. The turret's a little bit low, so it's not necessarily the best hold down tank, but again with angling it'll do well. So if you play it in that second line support, it also side scrapes really well. You can still bounce Tier 8 tanks, but as a top tier it can be a real big bully and push its weight around quite a bit, so it's a lot of fun in that regard. And all, if you're a fan of the Tiger 1 or the VK4502, I think this tank could be a great option for you. I'm looking forward to driving it a lot more. I think it's going to be well received. So keep an eye out for this. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe on YouTube. Plenty more stuff coming. And I'll see you on the battlefield. Thanks a lot, guys.